A Navy carrier group is sailing this morning towards North Korea. The country's official news agency just warned the United States it may launch a, quote, super mighty preemptive strike. The White House and Pentagon said last week that the aircraft carrier Carl Vinson was on its way to the region. Officials now say that was a mistake.
A Navy photo from last weekend shows the Carl Vinson thousands of miles away in Indonesia, headed south instead of north. Major Garrett is at the White House with the attempt to explain the error. Major, good morning.
Good morning. The administration, as you noted, is on the defensive after a series of misleading statements about the location of that aircraft carrier strike group and how its movements either did or did not fit into the strategic chess game with North Korea. The White House yesterday tried to shift blame to the Pentagon, while allies and adversaries in Asia simply wondered what's going on. No comment from President Trump about the burgeoning crisis in North Korea, but his Secretary of State and UN ambassador turned up the rhetorical heat on the volatile North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un.
We're reviewing all of the status of North Korea, both in terms of state sponsorship of terrorism, as well as all the other ways in which we can bring pressure to bear on the regime in Pyongyang.
The State Department is now reevaluating President George W. Bush's decision to lift the state terrorism designation for North Korea in 2008, an ill-fated effort to deter the country's pursuit of nuclear weapons. The young leader of an impoverished nation has an appetite for grandiose propaganda. A new video showed Kim at a concert watching a simulated video of a missile strike on the U.S. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley warned Pyongyang to tread carefully, telling reporters, "It is important that North Korea know we are not trying to pick a fight, so don't try to give us one." But the White House has to cope with its own mixed signals. Last week, the president and his press secretary said the carrier USS Carl Vinson and strike force vessels were steaming toward the Korean peninsula.
We are sending an armada, very powerful.
When you see a carrier group steaming into an area like that, the forward presence of that is clearly through almost every instance, a huge deterrence.
But yesterday, Press Secretary Sean Spicer tried to clarify his remarks.
We were asked a question about what signal it sent. We answered the question on what signal it sent. I'm not the one who commented on timing.
When Mr. Trump spoke of the armada, the vessels were in fact headed in the opposite direction, toward the Australian coast. The Vinson strike force is scheduled to arrive in waters near the Korean peninsula next week. News of the carrier group's actual location triggered ridicule in South Korea and China. State-run media in China and the South Korean press both accuse the administration of trafficking in bluster and lies. Gayle?
All right, Major, thank you.